Hello there, thank you for staying with us and welcome to another edition of Channels Beam on Channels Television. I'm Victor Matthias. Now, after many years of Nigerians making calls for a change in the chain of command of Nigeria's security architecture, President Muhammadu Buhari accepted the resignation of Nigeria's service chiefs and wasted no time in announcing their replacements. Now, while some have received the news with some form of hope, others believe the change won't bring about the needed success in the fight against insurgency. And this will be our focus on the program today. Plus, we will be taking a look at how social media is impacting users, especially teenagers and youths, in the wake of challenges that have been trending globally. But before we get into all of that, let's first see what made the social media an interesting space in the past week.
After 6 years of service, followed by calls and outcry by Nigerians, President Muhammadu Buhari relieved service chiefs of their duties after they sent in their resignation letters. They were quickly replaced by officers who had been in charge to bring an end to the insurgency in the country. As the search for the missing girls from Chibok continues, there were jubilations after a report emerged that some of the girls escaped from their abductors. While the father of one of the escaped girls confirmed his daughter spoke to him, the Chief of Defense Staff says the Nigerian army is not in possession of any of the girls. SpaceX and Tesla head honcho Elon Musk appeared on the audio-exclusive app Clubhouse, and his conversation became the talk of the town as he discussed Mars becoming a multi-planet species, monkey brain implants, and Bitcoin, amongst many other things. His session was filled in 2 seconds, with the 6 overflow listening rooms also filled, leading to a forced stream on video app YouTube.
Well, there you go. Those were the trends in the past week, but you can be a part of the conversation as we begin from anywhere you are watching around the world. Just tweet at us at Channels TV, at Channels Beam, at Victor_MBIDI. You can use the hashtag Channels Beam as well as the hashtag Insecurity. But now joining us to look at today's topic, we have with us, joining us via Zoom from Gashua in Yobe State, Kabiru Baba. He is a lecturer at the Federal University in Yobe State, and he is also a security analyst. Kabir, it's a pleasure to have you on the program today.
Thank you for having me.
Indeed. We also have joining us via Zoom again, but this time around from Abuja, the nation's capital, Adeuko Ademola. He is a digital content creator, a writer, a good governance advocate, and a socio-political commentator. Thanks as well for joining us on the program today.
Thank you for having me on the show, Victor.
Fantastic. So kicks out the program for us, Kabir. What reaction did you elicit the moment you heard that the president had made a change in the security architecture?
All right. We have all been agitating for a change in the military, and then the president provided that for Nigerians. And then those people that he provided are people that have worked with the theater commands in the past. If you look at General Rabo, he was among those that started the Operation Lafia Doli. He was among those that rescued 103 Chibok girls, and he was among those that captured the Sambisa forest. Then you look at Atairu that took over for him also. He also was a commander of the theater command. So these are people that have worked with the soldiers, and they know what Nigerians are expecting from them, and will expect them to bring that. If you also look at the chief of Staff, Ishak, he was a deputy theater commander, acting deputy theater commander at a point. So these are people that have worked in this field and we expect the best from them. So when we saw those names up, we're excited to have them holding this position for as service chief now.
Yeah, so one of the concerns that some Nigerians have raised is the fact that these people, like you said, were part of the architecture that just left. So if they were not able to maybe perhaps make so much input, like you said, the chief of defense staff was there in the theater command. The chief of air staff also was also acting theater commander at a point and deputy theater commander. We also know that the chief of army staff was also a theater commander as well. In fact, he was the one who took over from the chief of defense staff in 2017. So they were all part and parcel of this architecture that left, and we perhaps would say we haven't gotten to where we want to be, but what is the assurance that they will perform beyond when they were part of the previous administration, so to speak? Kabir. All right, I think...
Okay. Yeah, I'm back with you.
Okay.
Yeah, what the agitation for the change in the security apparatus architecture of Nigeria has been glamoring for a long time. And these are people that we believe have been seeing all this glamour for change. Now, when those people were commanders, they also have instructions that comes down from the chain of command, which is the chief of army staff, chief of defense staff. Now, on their own, they cannot really do things without having instruction from the top. But we believe now that they are in charge, they have the final say, and these are men that if you speak with any soldier on the ground, they will tell you that they are men that they really believe will bring the needed change to the Nigerian army. So we have a lot of hope in them that they will bring those change to the Nigerian army, and the end of this insecurity will be sooner than later.
Well, I know that that's the hope of every Nigerian right now, that the insecurity comes to an end sooner rather than later. But let me quickly move to Abuja, where Demola Adeko is also joining us via Zoom to also, be a part of this conversation. Tell us a little bit of how he feels. Demola, how hopeful would you say you were when you heard about the change in the chain of command of the Nigerian army or security forces?
Well, the change of the service chief was came a little bit too late, but of course it was something that we've expected for a very long time. However, it has come, and of course, if I'm, being a patriotic Nigerian, I would tell you that I'm very, very hopeful that things will change this time around. However, the reality on ground, of course, keeps us in check, because at the end of the day, you can see that this new service chief are part of the architecture. They are part of the guys who have always been there before. And of course, if you look at General Buratai, who also left the position of Chief of Army Staff under President Goodluck Jonathan, he was also a member of the hierarchy. As a matter of fact, he was in charge of procurement. I think this is public information. So the work the army has done over the years, and I mean from the previous administration of President Goodluck Jonathan, we've seen the lapses, we've seen the failures, and of course we've seen the victories. This also went into the new administration, and then we had the old guys, coming into the new administration, and so far we've recorded some successes, and of course the failures have also been there with us. Going forward, personally, if you ask me, I am hopeful, but the truth is, I'm actually not expecting so much from the new guys, because at the end of the day, these are people who are also a part of the past administration of the security architecture in the country. So I'm quite hopeful, but then, of course, I'm not expecting too much. I'm not expecting so much from them, because what I think that we need is a serious restructuring and reorientation of the Nigerian army and how these security apparatus work. And until we do that, we might not really get the kind of change that we hope to see. The changes might not be so significant. So, in brevity, what I'm just going to tell you is that I have hope. However, I'm not expecting so much.
All right. When you say you want a total overhaul, restructuring, all of the terms that you made mention of, one thing that came to my mind is now I'm just likening it to that a blood transfusion. When you take out the whole thing and then you bring in fresh. Is that what you're looking at, so to speak?
Well, according to something that happened recently, when the service chiefs were actually appointed, we saw that about 40 of the top military officials actually, because of the problem, the culture of not having someone who is lower to you in rank, being promoted to
Chief.
and I think that's in this when we're facing a problem like what we are facing in Nigeria, we need all hands on deck. So basically, it means that those high-ranking officers who have actually resigned are now leaving the fight to the new guys, instead of having a situation where we come together, put all hands on deck to try to solve the problem. And in this kind of scenario, that means that these guys who are experienced in the art of war, in the art of combating insurgency, are pulling out simply because of a very frivolous reason, not a reason that actually holds water. So I think that this particular issue is one that we actually need to look into and try to change the situation, because I believe that even if they are bringing an officer who is of a lower rank above you, I don't think that should be a problem as long as we are working together to actually achieve a common goal.
All right, let me again quickly bring in Kabir, who is joining us from Gashua in Yobe State. So Kabir, just taking it from where Demola dropped, talking about how officers from regular courses usually go on retirement, when maybe someone they're junior now, so to speak, now, because as we understand, the Chief of Defense Staff is from regular course 33, and the Chief of Army Staff from the regular course 34. And so as it is now, some senior officers, or maybe those of the rank of Major General, just like the Chief of Army Staff in regular course 33, would have to go on forced retirement. Do you think it's a problem when it comes to this? Because Demola is saying that they don't have to go. They could just stay back, since they may it's a fight for all. They don't have to go and leave it to those that were understudying them. Do you think it's a problem?
Well, if you understand hierarchy in the military, a junior cannot give command to a senior. So definitely, if I am your junior and I am promoted to the rank of Chief of Army Staff, anybody above me must retire. Otherwise, I cannot give such person an instruction, because by ranking, he's my senior. So it's not possible that a senior will be in the office and I, as the Chief of Army Staff that's supposed to be your boss, will be junior ranking to you. So I don't think that is fair. It's not done like that in the army. So once they take somebody from a junior rank, all those above such person must step out, because that's the only way that his instructions can go across. I cannot give my senior command. He can give me command, because by ranking, he's my senior. So I don't think it's possible to have that in the army.
Well, back in the days, we used to hear stories of how they say that in the army, appointment is, how do they put it again? I can't remember how that term is coined, but they say appointments are kind of better than ranks. But it seems it's kind of a conflicting terminology right now. But, hopefully, like Demola said, it's a fight for all. It's a fight for all of us. So hopefully they'll join hands together and, bring this insurgency to an end. But I have to say thank you, Kabir Baba. You joined us via Zoom from Gashua in Yobe State, as well as Demola Adeoko. You joined us also via Zoom from Abuja, Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory. We'll take a break and we'll be back with a different topic entirely. Please stay with us. Thank you for staying with us. Now, global social media users in recent times have always been engaged in one challenge or the other. Some engaging, some educating, while some have entirely promoted unpalatable behavior. Let's now turn attention to the impact of these challenges on users, especially teenagers and youth. And as always, you can add your voice to this conversation via the addresses and hashtags that we showed you earlier, but this time around, the channels, TV channels being Victor_MBIDI, channels beam, as well as the hashtag social networking. And we have joining us right here in the Lagos studio, Olasheni Oladejo. He is a social media enthusiast, rights advocate, event planner, and writer. He contributes intellectually to issues bordering on social fairness and politics. He is right here with us in our Lagos studio. Olasheni, it's a pleasure to have you on the program today.
Thank you for having me, Victor.
Indeed. So much has been going on, and of course on social media, challenges here and there, silhouette challenge, scripture challenge, but overall, generally, how would you say all of these challenges are impacting, or what legacy would you say this generation is bequeathing to the upcoming generation that are also on this platform and are looking up to influencers and people with large followings?
Okay, thank you. So what I think about all these challenges and then how the next generation is going to handle the information we are leaving for them is that I think that many of us, or especially those that these people look up to, is that we don't really think about the consequences of our actions. Oh yes, the challenges here and there, they are good because we feel we can do what we like, and then also because most of the times we don't understand that even when we delete our words or what we do on social media never forgets. Before the advent of social media, of all these platforms, people can do things and get away with it because there are mostly no record of the things that you do. But pictures and videos you post on social media, even when you delete them, they don't go away because someone somewhere already saved them, somewhere already took a screenshot, somewhere already downloaded your videos. And then the people coming behind us now feels that if these ones can do it and there are no consequences, then I can do it too. Social media is not going to go away.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's not going to go away. We are the one that we need to fine-tune our character, fine-tune the way we use social media. But then we've gotten to a point in our development or in our growth as humans where people want to do what they want to do. It's my life. I can do what I like. And yes, nobody's questioning what you do. But what impacts do we want to leave for the people coming after us, people looking up to us? What kind of people do we want to be to them? And those are the things that are important, that should be important to us. But then we don't care. I think at this point, this generation, we don't really care. We just want to do what we want to do. But yes, it does have impact. It has impact on how the next generation, how they look, their outlook about life, the total outlook about life. It does have impact. It does have impact on forgiveness. It does have impact on humility, on character building, and all of those things. So if we want the coming generation to be better than us, we really need to start thinking about how our character, how our social behavior shape their own behavior too.
Yeah. So, one of the key, or one of the words that is usually being thrown around, on social media is, that people need to stay woke, so to speak, yeah? So this perhaps means that, you just need to be a man of yourself or a woman of yourself, think for yourself despite of all of the available information, videos, pictures that you have on social media. So how is that going out now? How is that playing out? How woke would you say people are? Because you have people following or doing what influencers say they should do, and, at times it might not even be the reality of that influencer, but he's just putting out word. So how woke would you say that people are right now on social media?
In the past week, when they had this challenge where a red light comes up and one of the comments I saw was that you should be able to see someone's nude pictures or videos on social media, and at the same time, when you see them, you are not seeing them because they are nude. You are able to see you are able to see a business mogul. But then the reality is that when you see a nude picture, when you see a certain behavior, at that point, you don't see anything else. That is what you see, either male or female. You are not going to say, oh, because I'm woke, I don't want to be a sexual object, but then I want to do sexual things publicly. I don't think that life works that way. I personally do not believe that you can continue to put yourself out as a sexual person, as a sexual being. That is everything people see about you. But at the same time, you want them to see you as the director of ABC company.
Or Elon Musk.
As you know, for example, earlier this year, there was someone, Dangote's ex-girlfriend, coming on social media to say one or two things and releasing a picture showing a part of his body. You know, Dangote, even if he will not come online to say, oh, this and this, he has filed a suit in New York to say that there should be restrictions to what that person can release information about him. If Dangote do not care about how people see him, he definitely won't be doing that.
Well, let's hope that as we move forward, we'll see better behavior and not all of the stereotypes and also, you know, the misconceptions and also the misleading and misdirecting content that we see out there. People can perhaps stay woke and, you know, think for themselves as we move forward in using this platform. But again, I would have to say thank you for joining us on the program and sharing your thoughts with us, Olasheni Oladijo.
Thank you so much, Victor.
Of course.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Well, that's where we are. Let's now take a look at the most viewed videos on our YouTube channel in the past week.
Popular Yoruba activist Sunday Igboho, claiming that politicians are out to discredit him, begins this week's most viewed videos. It is followed by the explanation by the Minister of Finance on the slashing of duty on imported cars from 35 to 5%.
One of the major components of the inflation is food inflation. One of the major drivers of food inflation is transportation costs. So we were looking for how to reduce the cost of transportation for the benefit of Nigerians.
In third place is a tanker fire that occurred on the Otedola Bridge in Lagos after a fuel-laden tanker burst into flames in 2018. While maintaining second spot for the second week running is the arrest of 45 more fund seekers by the Lagos State Police Command for violating COVID-19 protocols. While topping the charts is a former NBA president defending the Ondo government's directive to herdsmen.
Each of the 36 states is a mini country to itself. We are all federating units. And therefore, as it relates to the security of Ondo State, it is the governor's responsibility.
And there you go. Those were the most viewed videos on our YouTube channel in the past week. But perhaps the one you were rooting for wasn't in that list. You can just go to our YouTube channel. It's www.youtube.com/channelsweb. Watch the videos, share with your friends, your family, and even your foes if you like. And who knows, perhaps next week it just might be on the list. But that's where we'll wrap it up on the show today. Thank you so very much for watching. I'm Victor Matthias. Keep maintaining the social distance as well as other guidelines given by the NCDC. Bye for now.